Hi guys, this is Rihanna with Handmade by Rihanna. This is the first video in a series of videos to teach the very beginner how to start crocheting. In this video, we'll talk about tools, how to do a slip knot, and how to do a chain. First, we'll talk about tools. The tools you'll need for crocheting is scissors, stitch markers, crochet hook, and yarn. Now there are different types of crochet hooks. We'll start with our basic aluminum hook. It'll say on the handle here what size it is. And this is your standard aluminum hook. Then you've got aluminum hooks with ergonomic handles. This is one with a wooden handle. You can see the size is still on there. You've got one with a rubber handle. You see the size on this one's a 4.5. And then you've got your plastic. These will have the handle here is a little bit thicker. These ones are good if you have hand issues, like I do have some pain issues in my hands, and they're a little bit bigger and softer, and it doesn't hurt as much as this tiny little hook that you're holding on to. So those are your hooks. How do you know what size hook you need? When you take your yarn, you'll look at your label. And on this label, you'll see you have pictures showing the knitting needles, the hook, how much yarn is in it, the content, washing instructions, and yarn size. You can see this is a size 4 medium yarn. They suggest you use a size 5.5 millimeter hook with it. This doesn't mean that you have to use this color, or excuse me, this size hook. It's just a suggestion. A lot of times if you're making stuffed animals or things like that, you'll actually want to use a smaller hook than what's listed on there. You will have to try different things to see what size hook works best for you. And in order to make the same, if we were making the same item out of yarn, my tension is going to be different than your tension. We may need 2 different size hooks. So it just depends on the person. Here's another kind of yarn. This is the yarn I use primarily for my plushies. It's similar to the Himalaya Dolphin Baby, but I feel like it's stronger and a little more fluffy. You can see on here, you've got the size 6 super bulky yarn. This calls for a size 4.5 millimeter hook. Now you'll notice that this is a thicker yarn, but suggests a smaller hook. Tro yarn knows that this yarn is used basically for amigurumi and stuffed animals. So they know that you will need a smaller hook. So this is actually the size hook that I use on this. Excuse me, this yarn. If you're using one such as Himalaya Dolphin Baby, it may have a larger hook on there. I've seen anywhere from 6 to an 8 millimeter on this size yarn. But a lot of times you'll see people tell you you'll need to use a smaller hook than what's on the label. So again, you'll just want to use a hook, crochet a little bit, see what works for you, see how what size hook and what kind of yarn creates the tension and the smaller holes so that your stuffing will not be coming out of your animal. So next we'll go ahead and learn how to do a slip knot. Now I'm using mercurized yarn for this because you can see the stitches a bit better for the purpose of this tutorial. So we'll start with our slip knot, and this is how I do a slip knot. People do things differently. I start with my yarn end on my 2 fingers, wrap it around so you've got a square there, come up through the center and pull. And there you've got your slip knot. We'll undo that and do it again. Yarn in front of your finger, wrap it around, pull it through, and that's your slip knot. Now if you need to pause and rewind or slow down any parts of this video, you're more than welcome to. We're going to go ahead and move on to the chain. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and stick our hook right in there and pull it tight. Now you don't want it so tight that you can see this is too tight. There's no space around it. You cannot move your hook on it. That's too tight. So you wiggle it loose just a little bit. So you can see it's still on there. It still moves with the hook, but you can move the hook in and out of it. You can see there's a little bit of space there. So now what you'll want to do is hold your hook and your string parallel. Actually, before I go into that, I'm going to discuss how I'm holding this string. I use my pointer finger to direct my string. So I've got it wrapped up through there, and then I've got it down through my ring finger because that's how I hold my tension. So you can see it's basically wrapped around my two middle fingers. And then I come up and wrap it around my pointer. And that's how I hold my yarn. You can see I'm holding the tension back here, and I'm directing with my pointer finger. So holding your yarn and your hook parallel, wrap your yarn above your hook, and pull it through the hole that your hook is on. And you can see that's your first chain. This little V here is your first chain. And again, I hold on to the chain that I've just done just to keep it from pulling or stretching or anything while I'm working. And I control the yarn on the hook with my pointer finger on my other hand. So holding these parallel, wrap the yarn around the top of the hook. We'll do that again. Wrap the yarn around the top of the hook and pull it through. And you see that gives us our second chain. Again, wrap around, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Now to count your chains, we'll go ahead and look at it this way. You'll want to count your V's. So you do not want to count this V because this is the one that your hook goes on. So you'll start here. So we'll go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can see the little circles too here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you need to go back a couple stitches, you simply pull on the string. See, that takes out 1, and that took out 2. You can see we've got 2 left. You don't count this one. So it'd be 1, 2. So we'll go ahead and put our string back on. And then we'll do this again. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And again, if you need to rewind and replay these parts, it's absolutely fine. So we'll go over this one more time, holding them parallel. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through. And that is how you do a chain. This is the very first step to learning how to crochet. One more thing I actually will show you is how I'm holding my hook. So I hold my hook this way, kind of like a steak knife at dinner. Some people hold it this way, like a pen. I have a harder time getting my wrist to work that way. But it is another way of holding it, in case it's easier for you. There's no definite rules to how to do these things, so it's just basically what's easier and most comfortable for the user. And that's the end of this video. That is how you do a chain. Your very first step to learning how to crochet, basically anything. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments or reach me by email, Instagram, or Facebook. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. It would help me out and you would be notified of future videos that I release. The next video will be how to do a single crochet and a turning chain so that you can learn how to do more than one row of single crochets. And then after that, I will be releasing some more different types of stitches, basic stitches leading into stitch patterns. And I will also have some video tutorials on how to make some of the stuffed animals that I make. And I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching.